Today, bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video inside of my main account. Now, as you guys know, I announced I'm going back to twitch.tv for streaming, and in preparation for that, I was trying to push some trophies to make my way back up towards the top, just so I'm not too far down when the stream starts, and I've actually won 30 straight battles on this account going forward, so hopefully we can win a couple more today, keep that streak going, and intact for when I start that stream tomorrow. Again, there's going to be a massive live stream on twitch.tv/ChiefPat tomorrow. It's going to be promoted by both Supercell and Twitch. There's going to be hundreds of dollars in gift cards, also 2 big Clash Royale tournaments for you guys to compete in and fight it out for some gems. I think I'm giving away like 14,000 gems in each tournament, so definitely make sure you guys drop by. All the info is in the description below, and make sure you go follow my Twitch channel. But let's go ahead and hop into a couple of battles as we keep climbing our way up towards the top. And we actually found a level 13 down here near 4,100 trophies. Now, I haven't seen many level 13s around this area, I've got to be honest. It's sort of just been me climbing my way back up, and looks like this guy does have fully maxed out commons and rares though, so this is going to be a pretty interesting battle to see if we're able to pull it out. Now, Royal Giant's only going to get 1 hit off against the tower. He still has a fairly healthy Valkyrie right there, and going to counter that Hog Rider, we can go ahead and play our Inferno Tower, and as soon as it locks on, it starts doing damage. He's actually going to drop a free spell, which I was really surprised about. I couldn't believe he had enough elixir to be able to take that out, so I went ahead and used my Princess towards the very back. We're going to get some good damage off against this Hog Rider, but at this point we should be able to save up for a better push as he fireballs down my Princess. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty sure I have a nice elixir lead. Let's go ahead and get ready to drop our Royal Giant towards the very front, and since he dropped his Fireball, that could be the only thing he has to fight off against my minion horde. So as soon as my Royal Giant goes down, I'm waiting until I get exactly 10 elixir, and then a second after that, we can drop our minion horde, and as he drops his Musketeer to try to stop us, he's really not going to have too much success. The minion horde is going to absolutely destroy the Musketeer. I'm going to drop a zap on the minions just to be sure, and now my minion horde is completely fully health, and they're just going to tear through that tower. They're going to start tearing through the King Tower as well, and he's going to play another Hog Rider down the left-hand side, so we can go ahead and drop another Valkyrie to take that out. Now, he opts to freeze my Royal Giant instead of freezing my Valkyrie. I don't think that was a very good decision. He should have just taken out that tower, so at this point, we've got a full health Valkyrie coming down the lane, and we can start focusing on the left-hand tower and to see if we can get a 2-crown-to-0 victory. Alright, so Princess to be dropped off on the very left. Now we're in double elixir, so we're getting it twice as fast. We can drop our Royal Giant on the left as well to prepare for that big push, and getting ready for the Inferno Tower. I know he's probably going to play the Hog Rider or something like that. He actually opts to play his own Inferno Tower, so we're going to have to drop our minions right in front of that to make sure that our Royal Giant doesn't get in trouble. Alright, so zap the Musketeer. We've got the Inferno Tower going down. Royal Giant has locked onto the tower by now. At this point, my Princess is shooting both the Musketeer as well as the tower, so we're getting some really good value right there, and my Fire Spirits were actually able to take out those minions, so far this has been going absolutely perfect. We've got the Royal Giant in the very center. He fails his free spell as soon as his Hog Rider dies, and at this point the Inferno Tower is down, and as that melts down my Royal Giant, that's going to be the game, and he actually ends up leaving the match, so we can go ahead and run it down mid and try to get the victory. Alright, so zapping both the Inferno and the tower, we can drop some of our smaller troops. Don't really have to worry about any defense, and with 3 seconds left in the battle, that's going to give us a 3-crown-to-0 victory against a fully maxed out level 13, and that's our first time actually facing a level 13 on this account, so it's good to see that this deck works even when I'm not facing some of the lower level players. Alright, so next up we're going to be playing Jeremy, and he's at 3,935 trophies. I guess he's got a little bit less than the last opponent that we played, but if he's a level 11 and he's all the way up here, then he definitely has to have some sort of skills, so let's go ahead and drop our Royal Giant in the very back. It looks like he's going to play a level 3 Princess, which is a little bit surprising. I thought he would only have a level 1 or a level 2, but at this point I'm trying to decide what to play, and I think the Valkyrie is going to be the best choice going forward. He gets a little bit greedy with that elixir pump though. I'm not sure if that's, or if we're going to be able to make him pay for that. Let's drop the zap onto the Ice Wizard. He's got some Barbarians right here. We'll drop some Fire Spirits to try to help out, and right now we're getting some good damage off of the tower, and this one should be almost down to halfway. So 1,507 trophies. He's got a little bit of a small push coming forward. Keep in mind he did just drop his arrows, so we can go ahead and use those, or that advantage, to try to be able to take him out using our minion horde. So let's go ahead and drop an Inferno Tower to stop the Royal Giant. And at this point, we'll take a little bit of damage against our tower, but really not too much to be worried about, as he drops another Fireball, hitting both our tower and our Inferno Tower. Now, guys, I don't recommend using your Fireball on the Inferno Tower like that, especially when it's not going to give you any additional value. Pretty much my Inferno Tower would have just died anyways if he waited for it to expire, so I don't think that was a very good play. He pretty much just fireballed my tower, which isn't a very good trade. And as he drops an elixir pump towards the very top, watch what happens as I drop my princess. Now I'm going to play the princess in the back, and we're going to go ahead and use that to take out his princess, but I dropped it a little bit farther back so it didn't end up hitting or get it like any of the splash residue from his princess that was back there. But overall that actually didn't matter because he just ends up arrowing my princess anyways, and even though I want to drop my minion horde, I know he can just drop a fireball at a moment's notice, so really nothing we can do right now. And let's wait for the tower to get locked onto by the princess, and now the minion horde will end up cleaning that up. So looks like we're gonna take out another ice wizard on our way to the tower. He must not have the fireball or anything like that cycled up. Minions will get us that first tower of the game, and let's go ahead and respond with another Inferno Tower. Alright, so Inferno Tower is locked onto the Royal Giant. He's got the minions making their way there as well. The Royal Giant is just so tanky that it almost kills the Inferno Tower before it can actually end up killing it, which is just nuts because that doesn't happen with any other troop in the game. Valkyrie's going to take out all those barbarians. Valkyrie's going to attack the ice wizard as well, deciding what we want to play next. We could get greedy if we want to and drop our minion horde in the center, but we really don't need to. Just look how much damage that Royal Giant can take. And I dropped my fireball here trying to predict the princess walking forward, but I forgot the Valkyrie was on the right, and we ended up missing that fireball, so I dropped an oops to let him know what's up. Alright, so Inferno Tower on the Royal Giant. He actually plays the barbarians as soon as the Inferno goes down, which is going to give me a little bit of a problem. The minion hordes are just out of range of that princess for a second, so they didn't end up taking that first shot. And even though he was definitely pressuring the second tower right here, if the game went to overtime, I still could have just dropped my Royal Giant in the very center of his base and taken out that left-hand tower. So good game to Jeremy, and that's going to be a pretty clean 1-0 victory as we keep making our way back up to the top. Alright, so one more battle. We're going to go off against Super K right here. Another level 11 again. I wish I didn't have to play these lower level guys. I might climb my way up, but you got to do what you got to do to get your way back up to the top. So let's go and play a princess in the back. He's going to play an elixir collector, which is a pretty weak card when you're playing someone a higher level than you, especially 2 levels higher than you can get really tough. But fortunately for him, I don't have the Royal Giant inside of my first rotation, so I'm just in a lot of trouble about where I want to go. I end up dropping my minion horde because I don't want to waste elixir, and I end up zapping the witch, which was just a really bad idea and just really an unfortunate circumstance right there to not be able to do anything about that. So let's drop the Inferno Tower for the Hog Rider. The witch should go down in a second as well, and let's just reset for the rest of the battle, even though he probably does have just a little bit of an elixir advantage going forward. Alright, so we've got the Princess and Royal Giant, 2 cards that we can definitely play from the very back. Deciding what we want to do, I don't really think it matters too much for both of the cards. Maybe the Royal Giant would be a better choice just to have a little bit more value from the Princess, but the fact that the Princess is so cheap makes me want to drop her first. So we're going to drop the Princess right there. He'll counter with that Ice Wizard, and watch what happens as I drop this Fireball. It's going to hit all 4 targets. It'll hit the Ice Wizard, it'll hit the Witch, it'll hit the Elixir Collector, as well as the Crown Tower. Maybe the best value I've gotten in a Fireball in a pretty long time. And since he just arrowed down my Princess, we're going to follow up with the Valkyrie as well as the Minion Horde and to try to storm down this right-hand tower right here. Now, he does have the Fireball. It's so annoying that some of these guys are running both the arrow and the Fireball. You really almost never see that inside of a lot of decks, so we're just going to take a little bit of a damage from the Dark Prince right here. The Dark Prince honestly doesn't do that much, so we can go ahead and soak that up. And now we can start making a big push with our Royal Giant, and this is going to have to be the one that we need to end up taking down this right-hand tower. He drops a pump just to get a little bit more value right there, and we're going to start our slow push. And as we go into double elixir, the Princess should be able to help us out, and we can start dropping that from the very back. So at this point, I have a weird set of cards in my hands. I have the Fireball, I have the Zap, I've got the the Fire Spirits, and I had the Inferno Tower. None of those were great choices. I ended up using the Fireball, and unfortunately I didn't get the Prediction Witch like I did last time, but still, Royal Giant's going crazy on that right-hand tower. The Valkyrie's helping out again as well, and another Inferno Tower for this Hog Rider to stop him right in his tracks. And now with one more push down the right-hand lane with the Royal Giant, we should be able to clean up this lane. Now, Valkyrie again onto the Ice Wizard as well as the Witch right there. Looks like the Valkyrie's walking forward. Royal Giant's going to be making his way to the tower, and that should wrap it up for the game right here. Alright, so little Fire Spirits doing their job. Gonna end up zapping that Witch. He's got a decent push now coming back on the right-hand side. So I'll just drop my Minion Horde in the center to distract both the Witch and the Ice Wizard to make sure they can't get to my tower. He'll end up arrowing that, and with about 3 seconds left, the Inferno Tower should wrap up the game, and give us a solid 1 crown to 0 victory. So good pushing so far. This puts me at about 4,100 trophies, and that was my 33rd straight win on this account. I think maybe 5 of those were friendly battle wins, so maybe like 28 straight wins in multiplayer, or even more than that. I can't even count because there's a limit to how many battles, but I've gone from 3,000 to 4,100 trophies without losing, and I'm definitely going to continue that tomorrow on twitch.tv. So make sure you guys check out the stream, 9 a.m. on the west coast of the US, it's noon on the east coast, and at 5 p.m. or 1700 Central European time, which is in London. Throw into a time zone converter so you guys can make sure to drop by. It is going to be insane. Lots of gift cards. You're going to have a chance to friendly battle me, and it's going to be a pretty good time. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.